So one thing I wanted to share, just because I was noticing the picture in the background, one of our wedding pictures, is just holding on to miracles. And I guess one thing I do not want to forget is just the miracle of meeting David. So, for years, I think probably when I didn't really think about marriage when I was super young, but I used to think like, oh, it'd be nice to marry someone like my dad because I admire my parents' relationship. And with, adolescence, I started thinking about like dating and things of that sort. But I remember making a list. Oh, actually, I don't even remember making this list. My sister found a list in my childhood bedroom. And it was a list of characteristics that I wanted in my future spouse. And I wrote this as a teenager. And I don't have the letter anymore, unfortunately. But it was so crazy to receive that letter while I was engaged. And I was like, oh my gosh. The majority, I would say like a solid 90 to 95% of the qualities I desired at age 13 were, I don't even know what age I was, as a teenager, were still the same things I desired at age 30 plus, and were the qualities that were in my husband. I was like, oh my gosh, you do this, and you do that, and you have this quality, and that quality, and it's like, this is amazing. But yeah, like, and I just remember going to counseling. I moved here, I don't know, like 12 years ago. So maybe did counseling at least 8 years ago, but maybe even 9 or 10. Anyway, so counseling a little while ago. And I remember my counselor saying, I'm so glad you didn't get married prior to us doing counseling. It was like, I concur. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she meant it in a good way, but it's amazing, like, just seeing that I waited for certain qualities and God totally blessed that, like I prayed for, a guy like David, and it was really special to walk down the aisle. I don't remember the name of the title of the song. I know the song, obviously because I chose it to walk down to, but yeah, like the one line that I really like is, I prayed for you, and it's like, it's so true. I prayed for someone who'd be kind and patient, and someone who would, make me laugh and be willing and just, be considerate and value family, and someone who, I was like, they don't have to be rich, but I do want someone who's financially responsible, because financial irresponsibility would drive me crazy. And then somebody who, listens and likes kids and speaks Spanish was one of them. Someone who likes to travel, who likes the outdoors, and yeah, David's all those things. So it's like, yeah. And I think I even put something on there about, like, because I really love, seeing my family, especially around the holidays. I was like, I really hope whoever I marry is okay with, like, seeing my family more on the holidays. And he's like, yeah. He's like, we can see my family whenever, like, holiday or no holiday. He's not too worried about the date. Which I'm like, that's just fine, because I do care about the date. So let's see my family on Christmas. No, but yeah, I appreciate all those little things. And there's so many specific qualities I prayed for. And so it's really faith building to see those things answered, in David. And I think it was really cool. I was talking to a friend, and she was talking about, she really wants to get pregnant, and she's getting older. I mean, aren't we all? Myself included. But she was like, yeah, I'd really like to have a child. But at the same time, I trust God's timing. Like, I didn't get married until later in life, and I'm so grateful I married my husband. And so, in the same way that I trusted God to provide a Christian man with character, like, I'll trust that He'll provide a child in due time, or like whether that's a child of natural birth, or a child that we adopt, and I could totally relate to that. And so with David, it's like, yeah, if we have children, if we don't, like, I think it's just another opportunity to trust that God has my best interest in mind. And like Jeremiah 29:11-13, it's like, He has plans to prosper me and not plans to harm me, plans to give me a hope and a future. And I really appreciate that. Yeah, really appreciate that. So, yes, it's like I want to hold on to the miracle of getting married, and not just getting married, because a lot of people get married, but getting married to somebody that I prayed for years, and that I waited for. It was really empowering to get to it, because I was like, at different points, I was like, I just want to get married. God, please, just let me marry this guy. Let him like me back. Blah blah blah. And it didn't work out with a lot of people, which I'm very grateful for. But it was just so special when it worked out, with David. And it was just so simple. Like, during COVID, we were hanging out more. And then all of a sudden, it was like, wait a minute. And we were friends before that. But I was like, I think I like you. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I think I like you too. And then, yeah. And then we dated for 6 months and got engaged. Got engaged for 6 months and then got married. It was so funny because, like, for the first year, we were like, I know people could keep saying the first year is the hardest. And it's like, what is so hard about the first year? So, but I think with us being older and with us just being good friends, I think that was in our favor for sure. Because even coming from different cultures, it was just interesting liking so many of the same things. And we don't think the same way, but we just understand where each other's coming from. And even the fact, like, like the little things, like being tea people instead of coffee people. I'm like, what? I don't know. And we watched our friends' kids earlier this year, I think it was. Yeah, earlier this year. And it was just like cool partnering with him, and trying to like entertain the kids and, keeping them entertained. We did this like family workout and took them to the park and read books and made food, and yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, it's just neat. Yeah, it's neat, like, just being married to my best friend. And then even too, like, throwing out ideas of things to do and being like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, feeling very, very grateful, very blessed. And I want to hold on to that.